Hi Carter, hi Reed, Auntie Rachel here, and now we're gonna read Jonny Lambert's Bear and Bird Explore the Seashore, a beach search and find adventure. Carter just got back from the beach, so he might recognize a lot of these things. Where do we start? What to spot? You can use the Can You Spot panels on each page to discover seashore secrets as you join Bear and Bird on their beach adventure. Can you help? Can you help Bear and Bird find what they're looking for? What kind of shells has Bear found? Look for mussels and seashells. All right. On a hot sunny morning, Bear and Bird decide to go to the beach and paddle to the water's edge. Bear's excited. Setting off with Bird, he puts on his big floppy hat and says, "We can build sandcastles." What is Moose sitting in? Sailboat? Let's see. Can you spot the hat? There it is. What about the bucket? Bear's holding it. The shovel? The sailboat? The sun? Ooh. When Bear and Bird arrive, it's high tide. The water has covered the sand. Bear's not happy. "I can't build pebble castles," he says. Bird suggests they explore instead. "Let's go beachcombing. We won't disturb any creatures and we'll leave things on the beach when we're finished." Now you have to spot pebbles, waves, the cloud, marram grass, and red valerian. What type of grass is growing by the shore? Is that the marram grass? Splashing along the water's edge, Bear and Bird spot their first beach find. Glistening among the pebbles are empty abalone shells. The white, silvery surfaces sparkle like jewels. Gulls swoop to see what they have found. Can you spot a rock, abalone shell, the gull, and the seaweed? As they clamber over some large rocks, the mussels and barnacles are sharp on Bear's soft paws. But they continue to find more beautiful seashells in different colors, shapes, and sizes. Bear picks up a round sea urchin shell. Can you find a fish? Mussels, seashells, barnacles, a sea urchin shell, maybe that one? Oh, he's holding it. And a whelk. All right. Oh, I think that's it. Next, the friends peer into a tide pool. Sea anemone tentacles sway, shrimp scurry, and a small fish darts back and forth. Bear sees something glinting in the water. Being very careful, he leans forward to get a closer look. Can you find the shrimp, sea anemone, lobster, starfish, and the common guppy? Starfish, sea anemone, and shrimp. Which animal has 5 arms? That one, I guess. Maybe the starfish. I don't know where that circle is, but all right. Bear reaches down to retrieve the glinting blue sea glass. Bird spies a hermit crab scuttling along the tide pool floor. Wow! That crab's carrying its home on its back, says Bird. Bear laughs. I'm not strong enough to carry the cave that's our home. Which animal has 8 long limbs? Can you spot sea glass, the hermit crab, octopus, clams, and the jellyfish? As Bear sits to admire his blue glass jewel, he notices Bird's perch is moving slowly towards the sea. Bear is puzzled. Bird, you're standing on a funny-looking rock that's moving down the beach. Can you spot the seahorse, oyster, scallop, coral, razor clams, shore crab? Which fish has a horse-shaped head? Is that the seahorse? It turns out that Bird is on the back of a loggerhead turtle. But hanging around the turtle's neck is a discarded fishing net. Bear and Bird carefully free the turtle from her unwanted burden. Free from the fishing net, the turtle makes her way into the surf. Bear mutters, "Garbage like this shouldn't be on the beach," and he promptly stuffs the net into his bucket so he can take it away. Can you spot pebbles with holes in them? Polished pebbles, plaice, the fishing net, loggerhead turtle, and the mooring buoy? Buoy? What was hanging around this turtle's neck? In the bay, dolphin play, leaping high and slapping the water. Bear and Bird rest by the shore and watch them. As water ripples across Bear's feet, he picks up a cuttlefish bone from the beach. "Yummy!" chirps Bird excitedly. "I love to eat cuttlefish bones." Bear is about to reply when a cormorant appears, hops on a rock, and gulps down a shiny mackerel. "Now that's yummy," says Bear. Can you spot the cormorant, cuttlefish bone, dolphin, the island, and the mackerel? Which creature is flying high in the bay? Bear and Bird walk along the shore. They stop to look at a very peculiar shell shaped like a rock. "Look, Bird, this shell is stuck in a rock," says Bird. "I think it must be the remains of a creature from a long time ago," says Bird. Let's leave it where we found it." "I agree," replies Bird. "We don't want to break anything." Can you spot the ammonite, the cliff, the seal, the gannet, and the tern? What type of fossil shell did Bear and Bird find in a rock? Ammonite. Among the rocks, Bear finds some pieces of wood. "Look, wibbly wobbly sticks," he says. Bird explains the sticks are called driftwood. They probably drifted in the ocean for many years. Bear is amazed by the driftwood shapes. "Ha ha, this one looks like me dancing," he exclaims. Can you spot the orca, the lighthouse, the driftwood, and the fish bones? What tall building can you see on a rock? That's a lighthouse. "Look," chirps Bear excitedly, "the tide is going out." Bear and Bird hurry back along the shore. Bear is eager to build his sandcastle, but Bear lays out their beach finds. On the sand, he has an idea. "Let's make a picture instead." Can you spot the sand, the sea, the footprint, the worm cast, and the kite? And that's what they did. Right, that's the end of this book. Well, I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying this beautiful weather we're finally having now that the heat's off of us a little bit. Love you guys.